Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It is August 19th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and the volatility is extremely low today. Very low volume. You can see this basically kind of a range bound type day. This has an upward bias to it, but we've really been, trading inside this range all day. We had a leg down, leg up. It looked like we were going to make another leg down. We just kind of chopped around near the upper resistance here. The market's trying to go higher. There's a spike and a channel up, and then a little short-term channel down, and then we had another little two-tiered channel that's kind of continued to work higher here in the, from mid-morning to through this afternoon. But like I said, very low volume here compared to what we have had. The market just really not going anywhere. So the selling is at least subsided. Not a lot of buying today, but at least the selling has subsided. So it won't take long to go through the trades today because there aren't very many of them. So I'm going to go through what we've got here. Maybe about 8 trades, something like that. I mean, that's plenty of trades, but compared to what we've been having, not very many. So, but anyway, I'm going to back out. We'll go through these trades. Like I said, it won't take long because there aren't many today. But we were trending up, and we got our first break here. Notice how we came up short of the upper trend channel line. That's a good sign that, hey, we may get a break here pretty quick, and we actually got a break on that move down. And there's a second entry long right here. I like that one. Notice you're coming down first entry, and you get a couple of closes outside. You make a new low, and then you get that second entry long with that nice bullish bar right there. I like going long there. Your hope is that you make another move to a new high, but we can't even get there. You get a higher low right here with another fairly bullish bar that bounces off the EMA. You still got plenty of room to get out before that high and before the overnight high. So another good entry, and it just fails. It looks like we're going to get you get a failed second entry short here, but notice how it doesn't get back to the EMA. You got a double top there. You got a couple of 3 different matching bars we haven't been able to break up. That's a trap all day long. Even if not, I don't think I would take that trade because you're likely to get trapped, especially when the next bar can't break above it either and looks almost like a doji. That's telling you something. Just skip this trade. When it breaks higher and fails and then turns back down, I like going short there. There's a good chance you may catch a high of the day, but at any rate, you get a nice easy scalp out of it. So then you get a second entry short here, but not a very good signal bar. Lower high here, again, not a very good signal bar. Plus you got a little bit of support across here. I probably would have had that up there by then. This is real tempting when you break lower here. So that's a possibility. I didn't mark it. It gapped over it, and you couldn't have got into it till it backed up, and I wouldn't enter it there because you would have had this trend line drawn, and you actually get a failed second entry long there, but you don't want to go short into that once again, even though it would have worked, and so you just kind of have to ride this one. Then you finally get a second entry short down here, right at the EMA, right at a possible trend line. This is probably a little higher. So this one actually goes higher and turns and goes back out the lower side on a second entry. I like entering there. It's tempting to enter here, but you got a lot of support across there and you don't have much room. Plus it gapped over again right there and rushed down real quick. So I don't have my line on there. Let me just put it on there so not everybody eyes are trained to see this yet. So I got to remember that. But you can see that, and it gaps over right there, so there's no overlap. So you probably didn't have time to get your trade in there. It could have backed up if you put a limit order in there. I don't think it backed up enough, but it could have, and if you did, you might enter there. You could mark that one green, I guess, but I'd be afraid to enter right there. It's just not worth it. The only way I would enter there was if it backed up. When it broke below this signal bar, if it backed up enough to get you in up here with enough room to get out before these lows, that'd be the only way I'd enter there. Otherwise, I'd just skip that trade. So it does run down. Now you got a break outside this little channel coming down. Um, you actually get a higher low here, but it's right into the EMA. I'm not crazy about it. Um, but you get that reversal pattern here. So really, you almost have to wait for this bar to close. I don't know which side it broke out of first, to be honest. Um, my guess is it probably went higher, turned down, and then closed back inside here before going up. If you did let it turn up first, your stop still has to go below this bar, so your stop would have still had to go down here below this low. So however you played it, that's where your stop has to go. But you could have waited on this one and then let prices break above it and drop your limit order one tick back, which you would have got filled. Actually, you could have gotten filled way back into this thing. Um, it does come back here again and bounces off this previous support line across here. So the only reason I don't like this one is because it's right into the trend line up here. So it's risky entering there. It's a possibility because this trend is definitely playing out. But notice how we came up a little bit short and we overshot it just about that same amount. So it doesn't mean we're going to go any higher. There's another, it does come back one more time and break lower and turn up again. So when it breaks higher there, you might consider going long. That's another one you could argue to be green. I'm not crazy about it. I don't think you want to enter in any of these. This one broke lower and then turned and went up and closed right at its high. That's a possibility, but again, it gaps over and pulls up and then it hits the high, and so you don't want to wait for it to come back and try to hit it. So because this could be a range, and now we would expect prices to go all the way down. So there is a failed second entry long right here. I don't think I want to go short way down here. It comes back again right here. So that would be the better place to enter. But you got a little support resistance level right here, right into it. And you can see how it goes sideways. It's not a very good entry, but you could argue for it all the same. I'll at least make it green. And then of course you get the little failed break lower. That's the better place to enter and try to go long, hoping that we're going to go back and make the high after the break of this, or at least test these highs again. And that's what happens. It runs back up. Finally get a close out and move to a new high. I did not mark this trade. That's definitely a failed break higher, and that's definitely a big bearish bar a long way off. A lot of times those are major highs for the day, but we do have a two-tiered channel working up here, even though you got a lot of resistance, but you're probably coming back to test that. So that's a possibility. I'll be honest with you, I like those trades. I point them out a lot. Failures at the lows, failures at the highs, those often become important highs or lows for the day, depending on whether you're breaking out at the low side or breaking out at the high side. This turned out to be the high of the day. You didn't get one of those huge moves down, but you could have. And so that's why I like these. There's actually a failed second entry long here, but again, it's right into that double bottom. I think you were better to wait right here and watch it turn down again. So I really treated it. This is still really all part of that first move. So I really treated this like the failed second entry long. But you could actually argue for this one too. I'll at least make that one green too. We did just come off the very high of a two-tier, so we're probably headed back down here. As long as you got enough room, you may take those trades. And then of course you bounce, and that pretty much takes you in the 2 o'clock hour. I don't see anything else in there that I like. Here's another one of those failed breaks to the low side with a bullish bar. If it wasn't so late in the 2 o'clock, that would be a good place, because that may be another important low at this point, and so far it is. So that would have been a nice little move up. But yeah, for the most part, there's an upward bias today, but it's still just kind of a range day. As you can see, we spent most of the later part of the overnight and most of the day inside this range. We broke outside of it just briefly before going into the 2 o'clock hour. So this is your trading range for the day right across here. And it's real low volatility, real low volume today. We're back up. We're back above 2,900 again. So, um, it's people are just not real eager to buy up here. It doesn't look like. So, even though there wasn't a lot of selling today, there certainly wasn't a lot of buying either. So just be careful. This market's a little nervous. We could get, by tomorrow the volatility could pick right back up again, or we may go slow down. It may look like this for the next week or two. We just have to wait and see. But regardless, it's just a quite slow day and more of a normal type trading day for the ES anyway. So you can see that there. It's a spike and channel, and then we just kind of went sideways with it. Slightly upward bias to it. So that's what I saw today. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.